Hey gut feeder friend, magnesium supplements. Which one is the best for you? If you're one of the many gut feeders who bought magnesium supplements in the past and you are tired of trying out more because they either just didn't work, they just went right through, or you felt wired or bloated, then this video is for you. Most of the magnesium forms that you can buy in the pharmacy and even in the healthy, expensive shops are useless. They don't do anything for you. In this video, I'm going to break down for you 3 magnesium forms to watch out for, and it actually says it on the label which type of magnesium it is, which you never should buy. They are either useless or even harmful for your body and your digestion. And then 3 alternatives for magnesium, and they have different functions. So each of those are for different conditions and support you in a different way. So just because it says magnesium on the label doesn't mean anything. I'm also going to share with you how to incorporate these different magnesium forms into your daily life. So when to take it, with food or without food, how many milligrams, all the nitty-gritty you're going to get in this video. If that sounds like a good plan, hit that like button so I know this type of video interests you. So let's dive right into the content. From my perspective, magnesium is one of the most underrated minerals and supplements when it comes to chronic digestive issues. And not just for digestion, because magnesium has over 300 functions in the body and potentially more. That's what science already confirms, 300. In regards to your digestion, magnesium is essential for your gut motility. So to move things through your digestive system. It's also key for absorption. So for example, other minerals like calcium, potassium, they need magnesium in order to be absorbed. So if you have a magnesium deficiency, you likely have other nutrient deficiencies or mineral deficiencies. And it's also essential if you're dealing with stress. Who doesn't deal with stress these days? Emotional, physical, mental stress in your daily life to calm down the nervous system. If you're watching this video, gut feeler, I assume that you already know that magnesium is important for you, but the right kind of magnesium. Because most of the stuff that you can get on the market, magnesium supplements are pretty cheap, is useless. Useless or even damaging for your body. So here are the 3 forms I would never, ever recommend any one-on-one client or hear you gut feeler on YouTube. Never. And here's why. First one, not toxic, but totally useless, magnesium oxide. 4% absorption rate. 4%. So 4% of all the magnesium supplements that you're taking there are absorbed. That's nothing. You need a lot of milligrams of magnesium. That's also the one that is most common, very cheap, but completely useless. Magnesium oxide. It might sound really scientific and strong, but it's actually just chalk. It's like eating chalk. Chalk is made of magnesium oxide. And by the way, if you're like, yeah, but where do I see this? There is always a label. So you have that big label here. This is Magnesium Malate. This is the good one. And then you have on the right what kind of type of magnesium it is. If it doesn't even say what kind of magnesium it is, then just goodbye. Not a good supplement. And this counts for everything. If it just says B12 and you don't know what B12 it is, it's usually the cheapest and most not bioavailable form. Walk away. Second one, magnesium sulfate. Magnesium sulfate is not all bad. It's what often they put in these Epsom salt baths where you soak in. For soaking, amazing. Relieve muscle tension, great. But taking it internally, not recommended at all. There are experts out there who still recommend that it can cause nausea, diarrhea, mess up your electrolytes, is not soft on the gut, so really causing more irritation in your gut, especially if you're sensitive, and doesn't really support you long term. So magnesium sulfate, Epsom salt bath, soaking, perfect. Internally, definitely not. And now comes my absolute favorite on the never to do list, because this is very hyped. This is a magnesium form that is widely distributed and people are like, yeah, that works like a charm for my digestion. If I have constipation, I just take this magnesium form. Big side effects coming up. And that is magnesium citrate. Might have heard of it? Let me know in the comments below if you have heard of magnesium citrate and maybe even have been recommended that by your doctor or your alternative medicine practitioner. Magnesium citrate, why that is such a problem is because it's already in the name. It's made with citric acid. Now all citric acid, and this includes food preparations, you often have citric acid as well in hummus, I see it sometimes, in any kinds of prepackaged foods. Citric acid, almost all citric acid is made from GMO corn because it's cheap and from mold. And this is not a joke. So mold and GMO corn is not something you want to put in your body. No. Apart from that, magnesium citrate is very, very aggressive to your gut lining, can cause inflammation, gut irritation. So just because you got rid of the constipation doesn't mean it doesn't come at a cost, right? It's like coffee. Yeah, I'll drink a lot of coffee and then I go to the toilet. At what cost, right? Mineral depletion, anxiety, adrenal hormones up. So just because stuff works for the one thing you want it for doesn't mean that it's actually good for your body overall. And because of the citric acid coming from GMO corn or mold, unless it's really specified on the label, but you almost can't find any of those supplements because it's not cheap to produce. And any good supplement manufacturers, they will not propagate magnesium citrate because it's not good for the body long term. It's very common to create a histamine response in the body, which then can lead to allergies, chronic allergies, mold sensitivity, mold reactions. Okay, friend, now we put out all the things that are not helpful. So we have magnesium oxide, magnesium citrate, and magnesium sulfate. Taken internally, not recommended. Now let's move on to the 3 that are actually good for your body because they are food-like. They have a high bioavailability, they're very gentle, and they're more like an offering than forcing the body to do things. Let's start with one that I love. I still take sometimes myself, and I definitely recommend to clients if they have sleep issues, if they're very stressed, if they had a traumatic experience, post-traumatic stress syndrome, if they have a lot of anxiety, if the gut is cramping, right, this colic-like cramping, then you want to take magnesium glycinate, also magnesium bisglycinate. They're both amazing forms, 80% absorption rate, very gentle. And the best time to take it, because it has such a nervous system relaxing effect, very gentle, like wrapping you into this warm blanket, is in the evening before bed. If you take it in the morning, you might feel a little bit too relaxed for work and for the things you want to do. To start off with, I recommend 200 to 400 milligrams, and you can take magnesium glycinate with food or without food. So for most people, it's fine without food, unless you're very, very sensitive to supplements. Magnesium glycinate is very well absorbed even without food. And one thing before you go off now and click on Amazon and buy all this stuff, even if that is magnesium glycinate, doesn't mean it's a good supplement because it depends on what's on the other ingredients list. Supplement wisdom, never ignore what else is in there. Because if you have any toxic fillers like silicon dioxide or more citric acid or things like that, you always want to check the label. And I already did the job for you. I have a few go-to supplements that I recommend to clients in the US or in the UK. And I link you everything down below. You can find it in peggyschirmer.com/shop. I don't sell the supplements, I just recommend them. And I only recommend things that I tested out myself or that I got from long-term clients recommended and that are tested, high bioavailable and safe. Let's move on to my other favorite one, which is magnesium malate. Magnesium malate, absorption rate 70 to 80%. And why I like this one is because it's about energy and clarity. If you're dealing with fatigue, brain fog, but also muscle aches, low energy in general, and if you're a very active person. So I take this when I play lots of beach volleyball. Sometimes I play every day, and then my muscles just need a lot of magnesium to recover. Or if you're like a gym rat or you're a marathon runner, or if you have chronic gut issues. Because the truth about magnesium is that if you have chronic health issues, you often need a lot more minerals, a lot more magnesium to deal with all the inflammation and what's going on there in your body. So magnesium malate is really supportive for waking up those cells instead of the coffee, instead of the caffeine, but really energizing your body and giving your body clean, fresh energy, which is actually good for you and doesn't come with the side effects like coffee. So the best time to take it is in the morning or in the early afternoon because it has this energizing effect and it needs to be taken with food for best absorption. And also here 200 to 400 milligram is best to start with. If you're very, very active, you can take much more. But as a starting dose, 200 to 400 milligram daily is a good amount. And you can take 1 in the morning and 1 in the afternoon, or 2 in the morning, and just experiment what works best for you. Magnesium malate. And last one here on my list of the 3 best magnesium supplements, before we come to a little bonus magnesium tip, is one that is very unique. So it was actually designed from Mactane, so it has a patent on it. It's not cheap at all. That's Magnesium L-threonate. This one is so unique because it's the only form of magnesium that is able to cross the blood-brain barrier here, right in your brain. The absorption rate is moderate, it's 30 to 40%, but it's a completely different game than all these other two supplements, because where this magnesium threonate goes is straight to your brain, straight to your nervous system. So even if you just get really little amounts there, it has a big impact. This one I take myself. I love Magnesium L-threonate for mental clarity. If you have memory issues, if you just need clear focus, if you have anxiety. And it's amazing for repairing this gut-brain connection that is so much talked about, that is real, nervous system inflammation. If you have emotional hardship, mentally exhausted, it's very, very strong, very powerful, has no known side effects, so it's very, very safe, which is important if it goes to your brain, right? There is a reason why this blood-brain barrier is there, but magnesium, highly recommended. Start with 1,000 to 1,500 milligrams, which gives you effectively 150 milligrams of magnesium. Those numbers vary slightly depending on which supplement you take. 1,000 to 1,500 milligrams, you already often notice a difference if it's the right thing for you. If it's not important for you, after a week or so, if you don't see any difference, it's not the right thing for you. Magnesium L-threonate works long term, so the effect builds up like with many supplements, but after a week you already know, like, okay, that makes a difference or not. Again, there are supplements out there which I do not recommend, even if they are magnesium L-threonate, because of the other ingredients. Okay, now before we come to the bonus tip, I would love to hear from you. What kind of magnesium have you tried out? Share your experience in the comments below, because this is about community and about learning from each other. So what type of magnesium are you taking, and that is actually good for your body and well digested? And last but not least, the bonus tip is magnesium chloride. Important, not taken internally but topically. You can often get it in spray form, so you can have it in a liquid form, and I like that if I'm very, very active physically, I can just spray it onto my calves in the evening, massage it in. I usually let it just sink in, but if you're sensitive, you can take it off after 15 minutes. Just wipe it off with some tissue. Magnesium chloride has an absorption rate topically from 30%, and it's great for your sleep, for muscle cramps, and if your digestion is very sensitive to magnesium and you're not ready to absorb it in capsule form yet, magnesium chloride as well as magnesium sulfate as Epsom salt bath is a great idea. Now let me know which of the magnesium forms feels most aligned for you. What does your gut feeling say? Which one you want to try out?